Have you ever felt it? That quiet sting of a sharp word, the cold weight of being ignored in a conversation, the subtle heat that rises in your chest when someone makes you feel small. Disrespect is a universal poison. It can happen in a boardroom, over a family dinner, or through a careless comment online. It seeks to undermine our confidence and question our worth. But what if you could become immune to this poison? What if you could build an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind so resilient that the arrows of disrespect simply bounce off its walls? The Stoics didn't teach us how to fight back or dominate others. They taught us how to forge a character so solid, a self-respect so profound that the opinions of others lose their power. This video will give you 7 Stoic rules to do just that. Stay until the end, because the 7th rule is the keystone that locks all the others into place, creating a shield of self-mastery that will fundamentally change how you carry yourself in the world. But before we begin this journey, I want you to do one small thing. Go to the comments and write a single word that describes how disrespect makes you feel. Invisible, angry, worthless. Be honest. This is your starting point. Acknowledging the wound is the first step toward healing it. Let's begin. Rule number 1, build your value from the inside out. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus gave us the most liberating tool for a peaceful life, the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us and some are not. What others think, say, or do is never truly in our control. To chain our self-worth to their validation is to volunteer for slavery. What is in our control? Our judgments, our intentions, our actions. This is the only ground upon which your true value can be built. In modern life, this means you must stop outsourcing your self-esteem. Your worth isn't measured in likes, promotions, or compliments. It's measured by your integrity, your effort, and your commitment to your own principles. The respect you crave from the world is merely a shadow. The real object is the respect you hold for yourself. When you anchor yourself to your own character, external opinions become mere noise. Imagine your self-worth as a fortress. If its walls are built from the flimsy bricks of others' praise, any siege of criticism will cause them to crumble. But if you build your fortress on the bedrock of your own virtues, stone by stone, with every honest action and principled decision, it becomes impenetrable. The winds of judgment may howl, but your foundation will not move. Feel the freedom in that? The release of no longer needing anyone's permission to feel whole. True respect begins here, in this unshakable core of self-worth. Once your inner fortress is secure, how do you engage with the outside world? That brings us to Rule 2. Rule number 2. Practice the art of eloquent silence. We live in a world of noise. People rush to fill every empty space with words, opinions, and reactions. The Stoics knew that true power lies not in volume, but in precision. Speaking less and with greater intention gives your words a weight and gravity that constant chatter can never achieve. As Zeno said, we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. In your daily life, this means resisting the urge to have an opinion on everything. In a meeting, listen to understand, not just to reply. In an argument, pause before you speak. Let your silence communicate composure. When you do speak, let it be with clarity and purpose. People instinctively respect those who demonstrate control over their own impulses, and the impulse to speak is one of the strongest. Think of your words as currency. If you spend them carelessly on trivial matters, you devalue them. Soon, you have nothing of worth to offer, but if you are intentional, spending your words only on what truly matters, each one becomes an investment. People will lean in to listen, knowing that what you have to say is valuable. Mastering your tongue projects an aura of wisdom and self-command. Respect isn't earned by being the loudest voice in the room, but often by being the most thoughtful. And that thoughtfulness is born from a calm interior, which connects us directly to Rule 3. Rule number 3, your tranquility is not for sale. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote in his private journal, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." An insult only has power if you grant it power. When someone disrespects you and you respond with rage, defensiveness, or bitterness, you have lost. You have handed the keys to your inner peace to your enemy. The modern application is to practice a calm and rational indifference to pettiness. Someone leaves a nasty comment on your post. It is nothing to you. A colleague tries to undermine you. Their actions are a reflection of their character, not yours. Your tranquility is your most prized possession. Do not trade it for the cheap satisfaction of a comeback. Imagine your mind is a throne room. Are you going to let every heckler and fool who walks by sit on your throne and dictate your emotional state? The Stoic path is to stand guard at the door. You observe the person trying to cause a disturbance, you acknowledge them, and you calmly deny them entry. You are the sole ruler of your inner kingdom. Protecting your peace is not passive. It is the ultimate act of power. It is a silent declaration to the world that nothing external has the right to disturb your inner order. That kind of self-possession commands a deep and silent respect. Rule number 4. Forge a personal code and never betray it. A person without principles is easily swayed, easily broken. It's easy to disrespect someone who bends their beliefs to fit in or who sacrifices their values for a moment of convenience. The Stoics taught that the highest good is to live a life of virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Having a clear code of conduct, a personal constitution, is non-negotiable. This means defining your boundaries and enforcing them. Know what you stand for, and more importantly, what you will not stand for. If honesty is your principle, do not engage in gossip or deceit, even when it's easy. If kindness is your principle, do not tolerate cruelty, neither from others nor from yourself. Let your actions be the evidence of your beliefs. People don't respect what you say you believe, they respect what you consistently do. A person of principle is reliable in their integrity. This consistency builds a reputation of solid character, a reputation that disrespect finds difficult to assail. Living by a code may sometimes be the harder path, but it is the only path that leads to unshakable self-respect, and therefore the genuine respect of others. It is the steel framework of your character. Rule number 5. Be a ruthless curator of your company. Seneca wisely stated that we should associate with those who will make a better man of you. If you surround yourself with people who belittle you, who thrive on negativity, or who subtly chip away at your ambitions, you are complicit in your own disrespect. To remain in a toxic environment is the ultimate act of self-harm. You must become the gatekeeper of your life. Audit your relationships. Do they inspire you or do they drain you? Do they challenge you to grow or do they comfort you in your stagnation? Have the courage to politely and firmly distance yourself from those who pollute your spirit. This is not arrogance, it is self-preservation. Your social circle is the soil in which your mind grows. If you allow weeds to take over, they will choke out the flowers. By choosing to spend your time with people of virtue, character, and ambition, you create an ecosystem where respect is the default currency. Remember, saying no to the wrong company is saying yes to your own well-being and to the respect you inherently deserve. Your energy is finite. Invest it wisely. Rule number 6. Strive to be useful, not important. The desire to feel important is a trap of the ego. It makes us needy, fragile, and dependent on titles and external validation. The Stoic path is to forget importance and focus on being useful, to bring real value to your family, your work, and your community. Competence is a quiet and undeniable source of respect. Instead of asking, "How can I get noticed?" ask, "How can I contribute?" Be the person who solves problems, who shares knowledge freely, who does the work with excellence, who listens without judgment. The respect earned from your utility is far more stable than the respect earned from status. Status is fleeting, but your skills and your virtuous character are yours to keep. Think of a master craftsman honing his skill for years in his workshop. He doesn't seek applause, he seeks mastery of his craft. The respect he commands comes not from his fame, but from the undeniable quality of his work. Be that craftsman in everything you do. When you focus on service, the ego quiets down. You stop worrying about whether you are being disrespected because you are too busy making a difference. And paradoxically, that is when the most authentic respect finds you, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it as a natural byproduct of your actions. And finally, the keystone rule number 7, willingly embrace discomfort. Our modern world sells us a fantasy, a life without friction, without pain, without struggle. But constant comfort doesn't make us happy. It makes us weak, fearful, and brittle. The Stoics knew that strength is forged in adversity. By voluntarily and regularly stepping out of your comfort zone, you build a resilience that is palpable. Take cold showers, fast periodically, have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, work out until you are truly exhausted. Why does this build respect? Because a person who does not fear hardship is a person who cannot be easily threatened or manipulated. You become incorruptible. People can sense when they are in the presence of someone who has faced their own demons and is not afraid of the world. This practice builds a mental toughness that shows in your posture, in your eyes, and in the calm way you handle a crisis. You cease to be a feather in the wind, subject to the whims of circumstance, and become the storm itself. Disrespect preys on perceived weakness. By voluntarily hardening yourself, you remove the target from your back. This is the rule that tempers you. It turns philosophical ideas into physical reality. It is the fire that forges your character into steel. And so we arrive at the end. These 7 rules are not a set of social tricks to manipulate others into respecting you. They are a blueprint for self-mastery. The respect you seek is not a prize to be awarded by others. It is the echo of your own internal state, a reflection of your character, your discipline, and your integrity. Build your worth from within, speak with intention, guard your peace, live by a code, curate your circle, be useful, and embrace hardship. When you live by these rules, the question of whether others respect you becomes secondary. You will be too busy living a life of purpose and virtue to even notice. You will become the citadel. The world doesn't owe you respect. You owe it to yourself to become someone respectable. Now, I want you to go back to the comment you left at the beginning, the word that described how disrespect made you feel. Find it. And now, reply to your own comment with a new word, the word that describes who you choose to be from this day forward. Solid, centered, unshakable, free. Declare your new state of being. If this video has laid a single stone in the foundation of your inner citadel, then subscribe to the channel so we can continue to build it together. Share this video with one person who needs to hear this message. Remember always, the work is within.